Hello everyone, my name is Catherine Campos and this is my current event project. I will be discussing an article from The Guardian titled Meet Arizona's 1%. The article focuses on two areas in Arizona. One area has sufficient water to keep a green landscape and one area that is struggling with water accessibility for their household. The article discusses two main categories that stood out to me, which are water irrigation and environmental justice. For water irrigation, we have flood irrigation, landscape irrigation that Arizona residents use as a technique to maintain their landscape in dry areas, like watering grass and vegetation. As for environmental justice, the article heavily discusses the differences in both areas, calling one area water rich and the other water poor. The water poor area has none to low accessibility to water, and the water rich area can purchase extra amounts of water if they start running low. Water poor areas are more prone to have heat than water rich areas because they're frequently watering their trees and grass, causing a cooler setting during the heat. The Salt River Project is the largest supplier of flood irrigation water delivered to residents. This chart displays the percentage amount of water delivered to different areas a year. The entire city of Chandler, Arizona population is about 261,000 and uses 60,000 acre-feet of water. Schools, churches, parks, and golf courses were given 36,003 acre-feet of water irrigation. Farmers were given 63,500 acre-feet of water irrigation. The 1% of the population out of 4.4 million total Phoenix residents were given 60,000 acre-feet of water irrigation annually. The 1% of the population referred to is the rich water area that can afford and has accessibility to water. Now, why is this topic about sustainability? The article focuses on issues with water irrigation, drought, the need for water conservation tactics in Arizona, environmental justice in poor water communities, and accessibility to water for all communities. On this topic, I believe there are two main stakeholders, low-income Arizona residents and high-income Arizona residents. Low-income Arizona residents have less water access for their landscape, including trees, causing less shade and more heat. This community is more likely to conserve their water because they can't afford to buy extra water and repair any pipeline leaks. High-income residents can afford extra water once they start running low for their landscape without the need to measure their water usage. This community has more shade and a cooler environment because of trees and grass. Now, how does this affect the general public? For starters, Arizona is a desert state. The amount of water usage rich water neighborhoods are utilizing is highly unnecessary. These communities can afford extra water, so they are not worried about conserving and limiting their water use for needs. The municipalities and areas that stress water conservation are shown in the graph. LA is known for always being in a drought. I remember seeing commercials, billboards, and signs in restaurants about turning off unnecessary water when not used. LA has an 87% rate of stressing water conservation compared to Minneapolis, St. Paul, which is 68%, and Phoenix, 56%. In this slide, we have the US drought monitor. We are looking specifically at California and Arizona. As you can see, there are different types of drought level depending on the severity. Every Los Angeles resident is aware of our current drought and the tactics used to save water. As you can see on the map, our drought ranges from abnormally dry to extreme drought. And now we could take a look at Arizona. There's a major difference. Severe drought to exceptional drought levels. Arizona is a desert state, and the amount of water used for landscape irrigation is water waste. There isn't tactics implemented to conserve their water as stated in the article compared to LA. Rich water communities don't want to see a change in managing their water because they like their grasses to be green and overindulge in water for their trees and landscape. I do believe the article is a reliable source with facts and data provided from studies and researchers. A recommendation I have for this article is to include opinions and point of views from poor water communities or the communities in Arizona that have less accessibility to water irrigation. In the article, we had two opinions from which water residents who both showed concern for a possibility of managing their water use and the lack of awareness for water conservation needed in Arizona. But what about residents who have limited water use? On the last slide, I have references used and interesting websites if you're all curious about water conservation and issues with water irrigation.